All right, hey everybody, hey sis, what's up? So I want to talk about the 5 flowers that are good for fertility, that are going to help you to deal with fibroids, to enhance your fertility, and to do all of this naturally, so you don't have to go out there and get any type of invasive technology. Because just think about it, if you have fibroids and you're trying to conceive, you are up against IUI, IVF, the whole art. You are also up against surgery, a very invasive surgery, hysterectomy. Because a lot of these doctors are not trying to take second or third or fourth opinions. They're not trying to take myomectomy, or I think what they call laparoscopy. I gotta look the surgeries up because I'm just not interested in the surgery, but I know there's a few of them, especially the myomectomy. And from my understanding, these doctors will pretty much tell you there's nothing you can do about fibroids, and for fertility, that there's nothing you can do about fertility. And I want to let you know that there's definitely some natural things that you can do about fertility, so that way you can maintain your womb, your mind, okay, and your soul, and you can give birth to another human being. You can give birth to the baby that you want. So what are these 5 natural flowers? Of course they're natural. What are these 5 flowers that are going to help you to increase your fertility and address fibroids? So I'm gonna run them off one by one, but if you have not already, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. People need to know, women need to know this information, okay? It's very vital. And I know it seems like silly. Ooh, flowers, this girl over here talking about flowers. How is some flower gonna help me? I trample flowers all the time. No, sis. After this video, you're going to want to take these flowers a little more seriously, because you're going to be able to see the value in these flowers and how they can help you, and how you've been overlooking these flowers. Like, you literally need to stop, not just smell the roses. You need to stop. You need to harvest them. You need to put them in some oil. You need to put them in some hot water. You need to sit over the hot water as Yoni, massage it into your skin. You need to consume it. You need to drink it as tea. Okay, you need to put it into your daily routine, your daily self-care, and make this a lifestyle. So what I want to talk about these flowers, let's see, which one should we start with? We can start with I'm gonna pick. Let's start with dandelion, because I feel like this is one of the most overlooked flowers out of all the flowers. And that's because we've all grown up seeing dandelion. We've all, sort of abused dandelion. We haven't just neglected dandelion. We've sort of abused dandelion. And, right? But it's a really good herb, okay? Not just the flower, but the leaves are very good for you, and so is the root. The root is actually stronger. It contains a lot more potent properties. They're more potent, okay? And that is why when you're dealing with maybe longer term chronic situations, you might want to use the root for what you're dealing with. The benefits of dandelion is that dandelion is a serious cleanser. It's a urinary tract cleanser. It'll help to cleanse that urinary tract. So if you have things like bladder infections, if you have blockages in your urethra, your bladder, where you urinate from, it'll help to expel that out. It'll also help to excess estrogens, okay? It will help to also cleanse the liver, and it's high in vitamin A. There's vitamin C. It's got a lot of minerals inside of it, so you can actually eat this as a herb. Before, I was put up on kale, and around the same time I used to buy dandelion. And actually how I got into purchasing dandelion as a salad, like I used to eat this as a salad. There was this man in my neighborhood, and people would consider him crazy. They would consider him cuckoo. But what happened to him, I guess, is that he had a lot of money and he lost his money. And when he lost his money, he lost his wife and basically everything as well. But he had a lot of knowledge. So one day he saw me coming from the grocery store, and I had bought some dandelion greens. So no, he's not how I came up on dandelion greens at all. And he was like laughing at me. Just imagine, it's like someone they consider crazy, and he's laughing at me. He's like, "Oh, you are over there going to the store spending your money on dandelion greens when you could just be picking them. Look down, look down." And he's like, "Look, what's that? What's that?" And I'm like, "It's dandelion." And he's like, "So what are you doing going to the store?" I'm like, the leaves are longer. Right? Because I used to use it. I'm saying I used to use it, but let me tell you something. 9 times out of 10, it was staying in my fridge and just going to waste. But I was still on the path because I was, newly vegan. Well, I wasn't really newly vegan. I was like in the middle part of my veganism. But this was like about 7 years ago. And I've been vegan for like maybe 16 years, ever since I was pretty much that age, 16 or something like that. So I say all that to basically say that, the dandelion is really good, especially if you have an estrogen load, because having an estrogen load, by cleansing the liver, you can help to cleanse the estrogen out of your body. The liver helps to get rid of toxins. It helps to get rid of, contaminants and a buildup of hormones and so forth. So to cleanse your hormones, you definitely need to make sure that your liver is cleansed. So when you eat dandelion, not only is it a dark leafy green vegetable, okay, it's also going to again help you to go to the bathroom, not just to urinate, but it's also going to help you to do number 2. And that is how the estrogen comes out of your body. If you're not going to the bathroom on a regular, if you're not going to the bathroom every day, sis, if you're not going to the bathroom every other day, sis, sometimes, even you may need to go 3 times a day. And the reason why they say this, I know it sounds weird to people who maybe are not vegan or vegetarian or so forth, that you should be going to the bathroom every day. The reason why that sounds weird is because we're not eating the dark leafy green vegetables. So we don't even know how our body is designed to operate. We don't know what going to the bathroom after every meal looks like. But if you're consuming dark leafy green vegetables such as dandelion leaf, you will go to the bathroom after every meal. When I make my kale wraps, which are the bomb, which are off the chain, which I know some people, they might have to shut down shop if I open up a kale restaurant. Okay, and I'm only joking, but when I make my kale, okay, it's instant. Okay, the kale really cleanses you, and it's really something that is very nourishing for your body. You really only need like 1 of my kale wraps a day. And another thing that I've noticed is there's like that whole misconception about, oh, we cannot consume enough vegetables and fruit in order to, like, we wouldn't be able to eat that. I know a lot, in order to get all the nutrients we need from this vegetable, like whether it's kale, whether that you would have to eat like this high amount of vegetables. It's not true. Hey Crystal, it's okay. It's okay. I was gonna do my video outside, but that wind, man, that wind was like, no. So I came back in. So, and I was having trouble with my phone. It wouldn't let me do the landscape mode, but I had to tweak it. So it's not true what they say that the human body, or we cannot eat enough kale, or we cannot eat enough fruit and vegetables. What it is you have to macerate your vegetables, or you have to massage them, okay? And that's part of what makes my kale so good, is because I actually spend the time and I massage my kale. So anyways, I'm saying all that to say, and I'm just gonna like recap because we have Crystal in the room and some other people, is that I'm talking about the 5 flowers that are beneficial for fertility and fibroids, and the one I'm talking about now is dandelion. And dandelion is good because it's a liver cleanser and also a urinary tract cleanser. And why it's important that you cleanse your liver is because your liver helps you to get rid of excess hormones and toxins and a lot of buildup that you are consuming in your system. And so by eating dandelion, not only are you going to help to cleanse your bladder, and you're going to make sure that you don't have urinary tract infections, but you're also going to again help to make sure that you go to the bathroom regular, because your estrogen is stored in the stool as well. And if you don't go to the bathroom regular, your body will reabsorb estrogen out of your stool. So it's kind of like if you need to go to the bathroom, and I know I'm getting kind of like here, but it's kind of like if you need to go to the bathroom to do a number 2 and you don't go right away, you'll notice that your body will sort of be like, all right, we'll just hold it for later, all on its own. But what's actually happening is that the toxins are being back absorbed into your body. They're being reabsorbed into your body. So when that is happening, it's also reabsorbing estrogen. So just remember, your body's trying to help you. It's trying to get rid of this excess estrogen. If you have things like endometriosis or fibroids or polyps and things that are estrogen dominant, if you have estrogen dominance, if you're not going to the bathroom because maybe you're at work and you have to finish this 2-hour assignment, and you know, by the time 2 hour comes, you just want to go home, so you still don't go to the bathroom, so another 2 hour goes by, and then you get caught up in, you know, whatever happens when you get home, so another hour and a half goes by, and you don't use the bathroom until like maybe the next day, because by the time you could, you're just so tired or whatever. All that estrogen is being reabsorbed into your body. So anyways, consume some dandelion. Dandelion is really good for that, whether you're consuming the leaf, whether you're consuming the flower in like tea, or you know, you could use it as a salad. I used to use my dandelion greens as a salad when I did use it. You could fry it up, you could saute it, and of course, as you can tell from my video, you can also use it in a yoni steam. So again, don't overlook the importance of these flowers when you are seeing them in a yoni steam. They're not just there to make the package look pretty. They actually have properties that are good for your body and that perform a function in your uterus. So this same properties that it has by helping your body to cleanse, it also will help your uterus to cleanse and get rid and expel the toxins and excess estrogen through your vagina as well. So the next herb, let's see, what herb do y'all want to hear about? Well, you all don't even know the selection. So I'm gonna just go ahead and which is milk thistle, because it's actually kind of similar to dandelion. Milk thistle is also a very strong liver cleanser. It's not, I would say, well, it depends, because when I consume milk thistle, I usually get the seed, or I get the seed ground up. I haven't really used the leaf yet. The leaf is actually prickly, and I posted it on my in my stories before. It's actually a very prickly plant. I found some growing wild. It's like a purple, it has like purple, it actually looks like a cactus kind of, and it's kind of weird looking, but it produces seed. You can consume the seed, or you can consume the whole plant as well. It's a liver cleanser. It's used a lot for helping to reduce weight loss by a lot of women that are, you know, trying to lose weight. I've consumed it with beetroot before, but it's up there with dandelion. It's going to help you to flush your toxins out of your body and perform a gentle cleanse. It's not the harshest cleanser out there, so don't expect to be, you know, you probably don't have to take time off work or school or anything if you were to consume consume milk thistle. But again, it's going to help you cleanse your liver. It's going to pretty much perform some of the same actions as dandelion. So again, this is very good if you have fibroids, because it's going to help to get rid of the excess estrogen out of your body. It's going to help to keep you regular. Again, it's very, very good for fat loss. So just think, like, dandelion is really good if you have bladder issues. It's good, again, if you have urinary tract, if you're trying to get toxins out of you, if you're trying to get more greens into your diet, if you're trying to maybe eat more vegan or vegetarian. And milk thistle is good to cleanse the liver, deal with the excess estrogen, and to lose weight. But again, these also can be used in a yoni steam, so that's why you might see things like that. Well, I know that a lot of people don't actually use milk thistle in their yoni steam, but you can, right? It's another flower that you can use either the seed, or you can use the root if you can get a hold of the root. I haven't seen a lot of people I haven't seen anybody with it, but I don't see the root a lot, but I know where to find milk thistle whenever it's in season, so I can use another flower that's good for fibroids and fertility that can steam is, I'm trying to think which one. Everybody knows about lavender, so I'm gonna go ahead and name lavender, and then I will name the other two after that. So lavender is antibacterial, it's antifungal, it's it's an antiviral. Lavender is really, everybody should have some lavender, whether it's lavender essential oil. I really highly recommend everybody has some lavender essential oil. It's very good for bites, infections. Is actually very, very good for burns. And I know we are talking about the vagina and your womb and fibroids, but it's really, really good for that as well. Like if you get a burn and it's really, really bad, you can literally put the lavender on your hand, on the burn, and it will heal the burn, okay? There is a book called The Art of Aromatherapy, and in that book, Robert Tisserand is the author, and he was talking about like somebody else named like Grosset or something, I can't remember, some Frenchman, and he like burnt himself, and he had a vat of pure lavender, and he literally dipped his arms into the lavender, and that is how he saved his arms. So lavender is very, very good in that respect. But again, like I said, very antibacterial, antifungal. So if you think about fibroids, it kind of has like a fungal type nature. Like it's growing, it's an excessive production of skin cell tissues. And you know, you want to sort of limit this excess growth of tissue. Lavender can help with that. Lavender is also very relaxing, and if you're trying to conceive and if you have fibroids, chances are you're very stressed out, right? So a lot of times we need something that is going to help the body to stimulate itself into stress, because you have to remember, we have been stimulated into being stressed out. So I said we need something to stimulate into being stressed. I mean, we need something to help to stimulate the body into relaxation, and that's because we've been stimulated into stress. So we don't really think that way. We just think we're stressed because we're supposed to be stressed, and it's just something wrong with us. And in order for us to de-stress, that's extra work. No, work is being put in to put yourself into stress as well. You are being stimulated into stress. So if you can flip that and stimulate yourself into healing, stimulate yourself into relaxation, you can combat, or you can balance out, or like you don't even want to balance, you want to outweigh the stress. Like when you come home, your home should be like a stress-free zone, if you can get it that way. I know people have complicated living situations and all that, but if you can at least even find, like even have a meditation, have some affirmations, have some type of ritual work that you can do to induce relaxation, okay? Even if you need outside sources or forces or whatever the case, such as lavender, use it. Some lavender on your temples, okay? Lavender in your skincare, lavender in your, you know, your body wash, whatever you can use lavender in, your hair care. Add it to your self-care routine so that way you can help to de-stress your body. People don't recognize, like people really think that stress is just this thing that there's, you know, it just comes with the territory and there's nothing you can really do about it other than meditate, and meditation takes time and I don't have time for that. But I'm gonna go and apply this chemical on my skin, and I'm gonna drink this chemical that I can't pronounce, and I'm gonna eat this chemical that I have no clue, but I just know that they're talking about it online, and this restaurant is fighting with that restaurant. No. You can combat the stress by using these tools from nature that literally on a chemical balance help your body to relax. These things are chemically designed to induce relaxation and peace in your body. But once we stray from it and we stop using it, and we start getting processed foods, and we start eating and listening and thinking, you know, certain thoughts and doing certain things, overworking our body, you produce other types of chemicals, right? So instead of producing those chemicals and letting those chemicals run rampant in your body, add the chemicals that are going to, and you know, they are chemicals, lavender, properties, essential oils, whatever, like chemicals are not all bad. I hate how they just, you know, use these words like estrogen is all bad, chemicals are all bad. No. These are properties, they're compounds, they perform a function, and it's just if you're out of balance, you're out of balance, right? But lavender does have properties that can help to balance your body. So that's one thing, again, that's good for fibroids. If you have fibroids and you do things like castor oil packs, you can add a few drops of lavender to your castor oil pack. You can add lavender to your bath water. Again, you can add it to your skincare products that you already have. You can apply it to your hair care. And of course, if your yoni is steaming, you can, you know, apply lavender flowers, actual lavender buds, the flowers into your yoni steam. So that is why you see a lot of people with lavender, because again, it's not only relaxing, it's going to relax you from there. It can help to induce, like it literally will help you to sleep better. Lavender can literally help you to sleep better. So you don't want to use it if you're like about to go on the road and you need to be alert. So you want to use lavender, like, you know, when you're actually really intentionally trying to wind down. So let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the next flower. Two more flowers for you. Okay, we're going to talk about calendula. So calendula is the yellow orangish flower that you may see, because I have not seen too well. I mean, I've seen some, but calendula tends to be on the expensive side, and it tends to be sold out a lot because it's popular, right? Calendula is also used for a lot. Calendula is an officinalis herb. So is lavender. Lavender is an officinalis. And I think dandelion is an officinalis. And like the officinalises, they're good for a lot of things. So the word officinalis, that's just like the Latin name or the botanical name that they have. So calendula is an officinalis herb, and that it basically means that it's good for a lot of things. So it's good for burns, good for skin, good for lavender is good for, probably most people have heard about it for diapers, baby rashes and so forth. It's good for baby rash. Calendula is good for yeast infections. Calendula is good for oral hygiene. It can be made into a gargle and made into a mouthwash. Calendula is good for so many things, right? So calendula is a cleansing herb. So again, it also helps to cleanse. And if you notice, a lot of these herbs, they're all cleansing. These flowers are cleansing. Like, you would be surprised the power of these flowers. They're all helping to get rid of toxins and dispel unwanted organisms and foreign matter and excessive growth and all of this out your body. So that's why calendula is so often used in yoni steams, but it's not just used in yoni steam. Very good for your skin. Like, if you have, again, rashes, even if you don't have a baby, you might want to consider getting some calendula. And you can make your own calendula cream if you get the flowers and you mix it with beeswax, and you create a cream out of it with oil. So you can definitely do that, right? I'm trying to think, because there was something else that I wanted to mention about calendula. Okay, calendula, like, you can also find calendula in your garden. It's out of season right now, but like 2 months ago, calendula would it's not calendula itself. It's like it's related to calendula, very closely related. Calendula is related to dandelion. Milk thistle is also related to dandelion. Like, they call them related based on when they claim that these flowers originated in nature, but they're very related, right? They perform some of the same actions. But there is pot marigold. Marigold is another word for calendula. Burr marigold. You can find that in like swampy areas. You can find burr marigold where you have like water and fields. So if you have like a field that is close to the water, you can find burnt marigold, and then you can harvest your burnt marigold that way, and you can use it just as though it was the Calendula officinalis. So it has like a different Latin name, but it's used in the same way. So I harvested some of that. My hands are like falling asleep from like holding the phone so much. So I harvested some of that, and that can be used as well. It's also called Biden's Coronata. So if you go look up on YouTube right now, Biden's Coronata, you might find this Jamaican girl's video. She's all the way in Jamaica with the same herb, the same flower, but it's white in Jamaica. But it's used for pretty much the same thing, for skin, for healing. And they, of course, they have other traditional ways, which I need to go and look up how they're using it in Jamaica. But again, calendula is used for skin, internal, external. When I looked up one source, you can definitely drink it as a tea. But again, of course, you can also put it in your yoni steam to help to draw the toxins out of your vaginal tissues, out of your womb, to help to shrink fibroids and to help to reduce the size and number of them as well. Last on the list, number 5, we are talking about rose. So before I go on, make sure that if you want to ask any questions, you ask any questions starting now, because again, we're at number 5, right? So last is rose. And I don't know if any of you have seen any of my other videos where I did talk about rose, but again, rose is probably one of the most popular flowers that you will see in yoni steams. But rose is also another very, very delicate dainty flower. It's also the essential oil of rose. It takes, I think, 10,000 pounds of rose petals to make 1 ounce of rose essential oil. If you try to go and purchase rose essential oil right now, you will be lucky to not spend anything less than $100 for a little vial. A little that's this this wide and this tall. Okay, an eighth of an ounce. You can spend $100 for rose essential oil. So these flowers, they're not just pretty, you know what I mean? They literally are healing. They're literally healing botanicals. They're literally healing things. If you see rose next year, I know now the rose bushes that I seen, not only did I raid the bush, but the rose was already starting to like wither. But the rose is very valuable, okay, very useful. You know, let the bees do their thing and then make sure that you also do your thing as well, right? And actually rose bushes really do good if you prune it. So the more you cut it, the more bushier it'll get for the next year. Rose is also very, very good for the skin, especially as you age or as you get older. It's red, and so like red vegetables and fruits, they have what is it, vitamin A or retinol, like they had the precursor to retinol, or for making your skin, like your wrinkles, appear less, to letting the skin pretty much look more beautiful, right? So rose has that, but you know, it also helps to control heavy bleeding if you have fibroids and your fibroids are causing you to bleed. It also helps to deal with irregular periods. So if you're bleeding outside of your period, it can help with that. And the reason why it does that, the reason why it can tighten the skin, why it can help with the periods, is because it's an astringent petal, which means that it helps the skin to contract. Okay, so it helps to pull the skin back in. It helps to pull the cells and the tissues back together, like shrink them basically. So it also has this effect on the fibroids when you use it vaginally, or they call it intramurally or intravaginally, whatever. And so that would be from like vaginal steaming or like they also use it as you can also douche, but I know everybody is so iffy about douching, so I'm not even gonna really promote douching. But you know, you could use these things. When I used to douche, and I did not have any of these problems when I was douching, but when I used to douche, I used to make sure that my water was always boiled. I didn't always use bottled spring water or anything like that. But what's crazy, there's like a spring right outside my door. I could literally go and walk down this path and go and get water directly out of a spring. Okay, but so, you know, when you're doing things like the neti, when you're cleansing your nose with water, you want to make sure that you're using pure water. But when I used to do it, because I didn't have access to a spring and I didn't have access to pure water, and I wasn't about to go buying bottles of water, I used to put lavender essential oil, tea tree essential. I used to put a drop in I had a douche, and I used to put a drop in my douche, and I never had no problems until I stopped douching. That's when I started getting the problems. So I really do question some of what these people are saying about, you know, douche being so negative. And I'm not telling you all to go and douche, because me no want get that mixed up right there. But for I would definitely, if I had to, it was just something I did because it just felt like something I needed to do. But so rose is definitely something that you can use in your Yoni steam to help to reduce fibroids. So now that you all know about that, oh yeah, one more thing about rose, it also helps with painful periods, and painful pelvic pain as well. So you can also use, you know, that's especially if you have fibroids, obviously in your pelvic region, it'll help for that. So painful periods. So this is like a lot of times too, when you have painful periods, you have low progesterone, and low progesterone can cause your cells to spasm, right? So that's where a lot of the cramping comes in. Rose is a decongestant as well. So as a decongestant, it helps to reduce swelling. So it's going to contract the cells, and it's going to help to reduce swelling. So this can also help with your fibroids if your fibroids are swollen and so forth. So that's 5 herbs. We have dandelion, we have milk thistle, we spoke about lavender, we spoke about calendula or marigold, they call it calendula or marigold, and we spoke about rose. So I definitely want to know which one of these herbs that you have, or flowers, which one of these flowers that you have heard about, which one of them that you have tried, either whether you drank it as a tea, whether you use it in your skincare, whether you use it in your hair care, whether you have consumed the leaf or the root as a food, and of course whether you have used it as a yoni steam, because these are going to be some of the flowers that are going to be in my yoni steam that I have coming up in a few weeks that I'm going to be launching. I am pre-launching it right now, so if you want to get first dibs on these yoni steams, because they are going to be premium high quality yoni steams, I'm going to be using some of the finest organic natural flowers, herbs, berries, and roots. And I forgot to mention, you can also use rose hip. So if you don't have roses right now, if you can't access roses, rose hip is the fruit that grows after the rose petals fall off. So when you think about, if you actually study these plants, they make the flowers, and then after the flowers fall off, that's when the fruit comes. So whether it's zucchini, a zucchini plant is going to make a yellow zucchini flower, and then you're going to get your zucchini, your fruit. So same thing with milk thistle. Milk thistle makes is purple flower, and then you get the fruit or the seeds inside of the flower pod or whatever, and you can use those seeds as though they were food or herbs, right? So same thing with rose, you can use the rose hip. So I will also be using some rose hip in one of my Yoni steam blends, but I'm making 3 blends, okay, to help to meet women who have fibroids, no matter what type of, severity your fibroids are in. So whether you have fibroids and you just need like general sort of maintenance, or you just want to sort of limit the shrinkage, like they're not really bothering you, you just want to sort of get them out the way so you can get fertile. I have one that's like a general blend, but with premium herbs again. And I'll get to your question. You said, I heard dandelion was great. I'm so intrigued to try them. Where did you get the herbs from? Okay, I'll let you know as well some more. So yes, so definitely 3 different blends. There's also another blend that I'm making, and it's going to just have the roots of 5 different root herbs. And then I'm making another one that is going to consist of the rose and rose hips and some other ingredients. So these are going to be very premium, exclusive Yoni steams that are going to be formulated just for women with fibroids, because I could go ahead and I could just blend up a whole bunch of herbs and just, get the cheapest herbs out there. Like, and not that the price of these herbs diminishes the value, but sometimes you could be using herbs that are not good for if you have fibroids. For example, sometimes you could use a Yoni steam that has herbs like red clover that may promote estrogen in your body. You want to be using herbs that are either going to balance the estrogen in your body or to reduce the estrogen. And I just listed some herbs, and I showed you how these herbs are going to help to flush the estrogen out of your body, shrink the estrogen, help to detoxify your body, help to, basically shrink it by either attacking the cell, stopping the growth from being antiviral, antifungal, and anti-parasitic. Is going to stop it in that way. So you want to get herbs that are going to do that, not herbs that are going to help to encourage fibroid growth by encouraging estrogen. So let me say this, let me answer. You said, I heard dandelion was great, so I'm intrigued to try them. Where do you get the herbs from? So same story. I think you came in a little bit after I told the story about how I found out about, not how I found out about, but how this man basically approached me about dandelion, because I used to be buying it from the regular grocery store. I used to buy my dandelion from the regular grocery store, dandelion leaf from the grocery store. And then he was basically laughing at me and saying, well, look under your feet right now, there's dandelion, right? So anyways, so things like dandelion, you can find pretty much anywhere. Things like milk thistle, If you're trying to find that in nature, you do gotta sort of go out into the woods, and then you gotta find like an open plain. Where I find my milk thistle is kind of close to a river, somewhere off in the woods, and that's where I get milk thistle. But rose, obviously, we know people have rose bushes. You can get your own rose bushes, and you can grow your own rose. And what else? Lavender, you can literally get lavender seeds online, and you can grow lavender in a pot and hang it in your kitchen. And you can find marigold or calendula. You can find marigold or calendula. They're like what would be considered swamp area. It doesn't have to be an actual swamp. Where I find my marigold is not a swamp where I find it at, but there is a swamp in the area. But where I find it is just a field on part of near the river. If you've seen my river videos, so that's where I find my marigold. I also find goldenrod over there. Goldenrod, you can also use that as well, but I don't think I'm going to be including goldenrod in my Yoni steams. But so that's where you can find them. I literally mapped out where you can find all 5 flowers. Of course, you can go online, and of course, if you want to get my Yoni steams, you can sign up for my Yoni steams now, because they are in pre-launch, and only the people on my list are going to be able to get the discount to my Yoni steams. And I might be giving a sample giveaway of some of my Yoni steams in about a week or so. Okay, so you can go to my website at natasiawinter.com/order Yoni steams, and the link is in the description right now. You can go ahead and click that, enter your name and your email, and then I will start sending you information the closer and closer I get to launching. So why I have not just, again, whipped up my Yoni steams is because I am actually going to be infusing my Yoni steams with oils. I'm going to be using Reiki. I'm going to literally be saying affirmations and using crystals and making sure that the oils that I use, I'm probably going to be using rose oil. Like I'm looking at this rose oil right now that I'm going to be getting. It's on sale, but it costs a lot of money when it's not on sale. But that's what I'm going to be using in order to infuse my Yoni steams, because again, rose is so good if you have fibroids and if you're trying to increase your fertility naturally. And I want something that's going to really, really smell good out the pack. Like I know there are some Yoni steams you get them and they don't really speak to you, right? So I want these Yoni steams that when you are using these Yoni steams, it's like you're really going to feel the energy of these Yoni steams. So that is why it's taken me much, because I'm going to be infusing my Yoni steams. And what that means is basically I'm creating a synergy. So not only am I doing the Reiki, where I'm going to be amplifying the healing power of Reiki with crystals, with affirmations, and affirming that these are going to heal women with fibroids. Of course, these herbs can do it even without my affirmations. I don't need to do the Reiki. I don't need to do the affirmations. I don't need to charge them in the sun. I don't need to add the crystals. I don't need to charge them in the moon. But I'm going to do it to amplify the healing power and healing potential. On their own, these flowers, these herbs that I'm going to be using, is a lot of other herbs I'm going to be using, but I'm not mentioning it here. I'm just talking about the flowers. But all of these are very powerful and very effective for Yoni steams as well. And I know this because I've studied the herbs. I've created a Fertility Herbs course. We're not going to talk about that right now. I'm not really trying to promote it right now, but my Fertility Herbs course, if you do want to find out more about that, is you can type in bit.ly/B, S, HH 44. So bit.ly BFS for all caps, if you want to take my Fertility Herbs course. But basically, I've gone through the herbs and I've studied them specifically for the different fertility challenges such as fibroids, endometriosis, cysts. I've done that, right? And I know a lot of other people don't have the time for it, haven't done it. That is why a lot of Yoni steams out there right now are just anything goes. Throw some of this in there, throw some of that. If it fills the bag up, sell it. So I'm not doing that, right? So I've actually taken my time to research all of these herbs to make sure that they are good for what I am saying they are good for, to make sure they are good for fibroids. That's why I can make this video and several other videos like this that is coming, right? So, you know, winter.com/order Yoni steams. Make sure that you get on that list. All the other beautiful ladies that have come into the room, okay, so that way you can get some of these herbs for yourself, and that way you can definitely get the discount code that I'm going to be releasing soon, as well if I give samples for some women to, you know, before I actually give out the bigger portions and the bigger products. Make sure that you're on the list, that because when I do launch, I'm only 10 to 20 of each different blend. It's going to be 3 blends. I'm only going to have a limited supply of blends, and once they're out, they're out. Again, it's going to, I create these herbs, or I'm going to be creating them as though they are like fine wine. So I'm going to be, you know, amplifying the healing potential of it every day. I'm not going to just, again, whip it together and throw it in a pack and put a shipping label on it and send it. I'm literally going to be charging these with healing potential. So I really hope that you get a chance to get some of these herbs. Let's see the sun, what it's trying to do. So I'm Natty. Thank you so much for watching, right? And if you want to book a fertility call with me, you can go ahead and you can do that as well. The same link that is in my description, you can just go there and you can click the button that says work with me. So you can go to natasiawinter.com/book and you can book an appointment with me, or you can go to natasiawinter.com/order Yoni steams and click work with me, okay, and then click the pink button to book your call. So natasiawinter.com/book, in the description you can find how to access my name and how to spell all that, because I know some people get this a lot, okay, but go there and then book your appointment. You can do a free 15-minute call and you can ask me any one of your questions, your number one question, okay, about fertility, and I can help you in other areas as well as create a way for you to help to heal your fibroids, PCOS, whatever the case may be, to help to address that naturally. So that is what I do. I'm Natty, and I definitely love doing this. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. So thank you for coming over, Crystal. Really appreciated having you here, and I hope I answered your questions. And if you want to know more, again, just make sure that you reach out to me at any time. All right, sis? Okay, so gotta go. Bye.